Beerus, my lord, is there something you wish to say?
Here it comes.
Warning. This is a global blackout. Testing the left speaker. Left. Testing the right speaker. Right. Surround successfully recovered. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for...
Forget about the way it used to be. This is not a damn democracy. We are in a state of emergency, and my word is law. There's only one boss in this place, and that's me, the HNIC.
And what it do, y'all? It's your boy King Kurt live, and we are back at it again on another illustrious Wednesday night with a panel of dope black creatives talking hot cash money shiznit about single-handedly one of the best films of 2025, a certified banger, if you will. It definitely would have warranted a flex bomb, a clue, or one of those infamous Don DeMarco drops.
We gonna get this work. We gonna get this work.
So y'all already know what it is. We are super excited. We are dedicating an entire episode to this single movie. We ain't talking about nothing. We ain't talking about Uncle Shannon fucking 21-year-old white women and getting caught up. We ain't talking about the fact that Kanye West openly admitted to sucking his cousin's dick at 6 years old.
That happened.
Bro, that really happened. We ain't even discussing that the Pope died and that for the first time there may actually be an election for a black Pope. It'll never happen. Yeah. There's a lot of things that we could be talking about.
I'm sure are crazy.
We ain't talking about none of that. Because this warrants our attention. But we've all traipsed out and actually went to the movies. Spent good hard-earned cash. Well, some of us spent good hard-earned cash to see this film. Might I add, a film with no original IP. There ain't no superhero IP behind it. It's not no nostalgia base. It's an original film written and directed by Ryan Coogler. We're going to talk about the hate that's surrounding it with Hollywood. We're going to talk about how it's culturally significant, not only on screen, but also in Hollywood, because Ryan Coogler got to the bag. We're going to talk about Michael B. Jordan's phenomenal performance and whether it held up to the criticisms he's had in the past. and we're going to talk about all the spoilers in this movie. So if you have not seen the movie, you are SOL. I'm telling you right now, we're talking about everything. In the words of murder, we talk about everything.
Every blood clotting.
Every blood clot ting. You goddamn sugar. Yeah. Oh, okay.
You need more phrases, sir.
Wow. I do the best I can. So before I even introduce the panel, I'm going to start by letting y'all know.
Yo, I can't wait to see this movie. It's gonna be crazy, son. I can't believe he died at the end.
A snitch, nigga, that's that shit I don't like.
I have forewarned you. I will give you another warning before we get into it. But this is episode 311, a certified masterpiece, the movie Sinners. Let's get right into it. We have our panel of folks who actually went to go see the movie. Let's start off with Jonathan Lesser.
Nathan Miners.
Yo.
Screaming.
Jimmy Miners over there in the corner. You're looking very 1930s Jim Crowish.
Hey man, look, Prohibition era.
I like it.
Yeah. We had to pull off some robberies to get the money up for the juke joint.
It's like you're saying, yeah. See, I want.
Yeah, boss. Yeah,
We're gonna get him.
Yeah, you gotta get. Yeah, go ahead and get the Tommy guns. Yeah.
Nah, you're the boy giving me my paper. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
damn.
Not the paper boy.
Why don't you go fetch that?
Man, you could at least give him chimney sweep a real job.
Right.
Nah.
Man,
We had black chimney sweeps.
Well, they had light skinned ones because they wouldn't let niggas
You know
in the house.
what?
Not black in the 20s. We just killed people or slept with your women.
Damn.
damn.
Why don't you introduce yourself?
I'm Adley Jr. and HNIC movie watcher, sometimes critic. Definitely big fan of this one. Catch me on all socials at Adley Jr. Let's get it.
I love it. Also, coming from parts unknown. Already look, he knee deep in the fruit slices.
Oh
And then
my
eating
God.
off a knife.
Listen,
That was raw steak.
Right off the night. That's how you do
ready
it.
for a vampire attack. Already with the shade. Wait a minute. Why you got
Looking like
shades
Blade.
on early? Mm-hmm.
So what?
That might not be watermelon. That might be somebody's carved up ass.
I'm trying to tell
Why
you.
don't you go ahead?
Wow.
Why don't you go ahead on and introduce yourself, Blackula?
I despise y'all. What's good, y'all? It's your favorite anime alcoholic because I don't go to any AA meetings. It's not anonymous about my alcoholism. Your boy Sir Shackley, anime guy of HNIC, aka the alcoholic hotshot, aka your part-time Pokemon trainer, aka the Red Cup Ronin, aka the Supreme Kai Solo Cups, aka the Sake Samurai of Wano, aka Mr. Drunken Fist, aka the Southern Drunken Dragon, aka the Southern Soul Reaper, aka the Dynamic Digimon Defender, aka your Weekend Sake Demon, aka Mr. Steal Yo Sake, aka the Southern Bald-Headed Demon, aka Mr. Southern Comfort Shaman.
Oh, 13.
Hey, he kept it light today, and
He
I
kept it light today.
And not bad, not bad.
blowing in from the Windy City, and apparently he knows a little something about Smoke and Stack doing their thing out there in the Prohibition era Chicago. My man 50 grand holding it down in the Midwest. Talk to him.
It's your boy BKE for life. Y'all know who I am. It is your published cosplayer, podcasting, streaming, video gaming, actor, dancing, jack of all trades, but a master of none. And yes, in high school we did take a Chicago history class. So yeah, it's a lot that we learned about that era of the city.
I love it. And coming from that cool West Indian breeze.
I can't.
Bow, 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 bow,
You know, y'all gonna stop this right now.
You know, I had me
Blood
some,
clot, Colin,
I had some jerk chicken, rice and peas, and cabbage
McCall
for
a
lunch.
murder.
This is what y'all do. See, this is why you don't tell
It was
people.
delicious.
Oh, I had some curry goat yesterday.
Oh, and he covered my rice and peas with the curry.
Did
goat
you
sauce.
did you kill the goat yourself?
Of course we did. Shit.
Okay.
It almost
sounds-
looked like some of that meat we were seeing in that movie, honestly. I'm not
That
gonna-
absolutely sounds about right. Why don't you go ahead on and introduce yourself, Goat Killer?
Wait, hold on. Wait,
That's a
wait.
snort laugh, though.
Damn, that's a sport.
Wait. No. See, I can't. This introduction.
After they sacrificed the goat, they had to eat the meat.
You
I'm
know
just
what?
saying.
This okay. Hey y'all.
Murder eating meat.
gonna
I'm
do
not.
too much
Never
talking
mind.
now.
You know what? Let me.
That's
But
great.
hey y'all. It's your girl. It's C Murder. How y'all doing?
You got to work on that. That's some bullshit. That
No,
is some
I want to
bullshit.
laugh so bad I don't even want to talk.
No. Damn
Ruined it
that.
for
She
me.
said, "Hey niggas, it's me."
Just bring me back
Uh,
and I chuckle after I finish all of this. But I'll talk later.
Terrence, we're gonna talk about the music in this too. And yes, there was multiple scenes that to me just transcended film and just was culturally significant. But before we get into that, I gotta kick it over to my right hand, 50 grand. The only person that I would want to hold me down in a zombie, vampire, or werewolf attack. Because she not gonna do no fuck shit like invite them in randomly when we not prepared.
Listen, my girl was about that action, and she wasn't just gonna let them go after her.
She wasn't
daughter.
about that action. She was about that suicide. I thought that it was racist to say that all Japanese people would do kamikaze. Be
Chinese.
kamikaze.
She's Chinese.
They were Chinese.
So I
They
said
were
what
Chinese
I
people.
said. Same difference.
So you just gonna be racist?
Prejudice.
Good night, everybody.
Prejudice. I prejudice. Please get
Oh
it
my
right.
goodness.
Yeah, no, we will culturally be correct tonight, sort of.
We have to be.
Not really.
80-20.
Tef, could you please introduce yourself and let's get this thing started?
What's up, guys? It is at Teffy Wonder here, your wonderful melanated mochafied merge on. Happy Wednesdays, beloveds. Make sure y'all go to our website, headnerdsincharge.com. Sign up for our email list. We got things planned, irons and fires and whatnot. We'll be doing a couple of things like over the summer, so make sure you stay in the know. Headnerdsincharge.com email list. While you're there, pick up some of our dope ass merch, t-shirts, hats, hoodies, bras, draws, you know the rest. Sign up for our Patreon, patreon.com/headnerdsincharge. Keeping it brief because I want to get into the conversation.
Hey, listen, I'm right here with you. Look, we ain't gonna hesitate. Sinners, brought to you by Ryan Coogler and Michael B. Jordan, is about twin brothers Smoke and Stack returning to their hometown after serving in World War I and working for the Chicago outfit of Al Capone. They plan to open a juke joint. Their cousin Sammy joins them, but faces opposition from his father, who views blues music as supernatural. Meanwhile, they encounter a variety of characters, including Smoke's estranged wife, Annie, a local Chinese shopkeeper, and their ex-girlfriend, Mary, who passes for white. Supernatural things ensue when Sammy breaks the veil using his God-given talents. And after that, all hell breaks loose. And we learn quite quickly how much can go wrong when you invite white people to the barbecue. So, there's a lot to unpack with this movie. I wasn't quite sure where to begin to sink my teeth. I wanted to give some cold hard facts first before we began. When this movie premiered, it featured a very, very I don't want to say it's diverse, predominantly black cast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It also highlighted multiple cultures: Irish, Native American, Chinese, and of course, black culture. Ryan Coogler's Sinners is one of the only movies to ever get a near perfect certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. The boy don't miss. Almost 100% with Sinners, 96% with Black Panther, 95% with the original Creed, 94% with Fruitvale Station, and if his worst movie is Wakanda Forever, that boy
That's
good.
Crazy.
It's very.
His
that's
worst
very
movie
crazy.
is Wakanda
Yeah.
Forever.
And that was a good movie.
Not his worst. Well, his lowest rated movie.
I'm talking, his worst is other people's Greatest.
Well, I would be interested to see what Creed 2 ranks.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Okay, worst.
Yeah.
So he didn't direct Creed 2.
No, he didn't direct Creed
No.
3. He directed the second one, I thought.
No, I think it was another guy. But
I'll tell you in a second.
either way.
Hmm.
No, he didn't direct Creed 2.
No.
It was Stephen Capel Jr.
Whoever that is.
Score one
Right.
for Jonathan Miners.
Damn.
Put him up. Right.
So some key things to understand about this movie. One, this was a unprecedented movie deal. Ryan Coogler worked out a deal with Warner Brothers to own the rights to this movie after 20 years. They would front the money to make the movie, profit from the movie for 20 years, and then after that, all rights would go back to him.
He also gets a cut of the initial box office as well.
Yeah, thank you, Teffy.
You don't have to wait till they make their money back to make a profit.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, so he executive produced Creed 2. That's what I was thinking of.
Gotcha. Teffy was like, I am not going to be wrong.
I was like, he is attached to the project some way.
Yeah.
No, because that's like everybody thinks Jordan Peele directed Candyman, and he didn't. He had DaCosta directed Candyman, but it's under his production.
Yes, you're not wrong. Can we get into
Got
it?
that Teffy. Woo.
Yeah, she got her get back and was like, all right, look, yes. Now,
I'll just also say with the movie deal, he also got the right to do the final edit of the movie. So the studio had
creative control.
Yeah, he had editing control of the entire movie.
If he didn't get creative control, I mean, that would, the point of the movie was, making sure that our past, everything that we've done in our past was like owned by us and kept by us, nobody infiltrating, whatever. I think it wouldn't make no point if they was to profit out of it the most. So
They do, but they do that.
They
all the
do that
time.
all the time.
I know. So
Yeah.
with the basis of what the movie is, it would be only right if he benefited
There's
from it the
more
most.
movies where it's about black ownership and we don't own the movie.
Exactly.
But I'm glad that this time, this one movie, he sets a new precedent. As a matter of fact, they say a lot of people in Hollywood are afraid about this new movie deal because if the movie is successful, it now sets a new standard for successful directors. Remember, Ryan Coogler is the exception, not the rule. That's a bad motherfucker. Just showed you his top 5 movies are certified fresh above 84%. Don't think that they just giving this deal out to anybody. You got to show you bring the hits. As a matter of fact, so much so that Warner Brothers executive Michael DeLuca, on giving Ryan Coogler the rights to Sinners after 25 years, he said, it's not a make or break thing for any studio or industry. It was a competitive situation. Ryan himself went on record saying he was going to get it from somebody else. He said, look, either you give me the money or I'm gonna get it from somebody. And he made a pretty effective case for this movie, especially with his themes of black ownership, what Murder was just talking about. This is very important and personal to him, and frankly, we're proud to be able to give it to Ryan. That's the movie execs, and this was in defense of the article that Variety put out.
Yeah, that was crazy. What they try to mitigate its success by saying it's successful-ish.
Yeah, he still got a long ways to go.
And I love that Ben Stiller was the one that called it out. He said 60 million on opening weekend. This would have never been.
He was like, for an original IP.
For an original film.
Let's put it in its proper context. For an original film about vampires over Easter up against Minecraft.
Starring black people.
Starring black people. Starring black people with a black, dark, thick woman as the romantic lead.
And the white people are the villains.
I mean,
ain't that something?
I saw it like 3 times.
Ain't that something?
More white people die in this movie. It's more white people than black people that die in this movie.
It is.
No.
Oh.
They told all them niggas in
Oh yeah, it is.
If you include the
the
last
clan.
scene,
It
more
is?
white folks.
The
Close.
clan.
I
The
thought it
last
was more
scene with the
black
clan.
folks.
Oh, you know
Oh
what?
yeah, the clan.
We gotta count that because there was a lot of
Close.
niggas in that
Gotta
juke
count
joint.
it.
Hold on,
Yeah.
there was a lot of niggas in that juke joint.
It was.
It was.
we
But he
got.
killed a lot of white people by himself.
He had a whole dance off with choreography and
Hey,
ripping.
you're the
That was the
party
most
of
ghetto
Irish shit.
shit in the world. They had this nigga in the middle of the circle battling it out like
They was-
he was
I
footworking
can
this
do
shit.
all things through black people rhythmically chanting A.
Listen,
And
I
that's
thought
what
I saw.
happened.
I thought I saw the Jabberwockies in there too. I'm not sure. I'm almost positive there was a Jabberwocky somewhere in there.
Nah,
was
because
getting it.
Cornbread was really getting it.
Before we get too far into that though, because we gonna get to that. I just want to set the tone for the rest of this night. Ryan's new deal with Warner Brothers makes him one of the most powerful directors in Hollywood. Ryan has full creative control on the final cut of his movies, and he gets a piece of the box office from day one. 100% ownership of Sinners will revert back to him in 25 years.
That's generational wealth.
Yeah.
He's such a badass. He got that stupid ass mustache on his face. That's when you know you get money.
He looks like my grandpa
I
with
hate
that
that damn
mustache.
mustache.
No, that damn mustache. I want to cut that thing off his face so bad. But when you got it like that, you can do shit like what my counterpart below, where weirdo shit like this.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
Shane. Yeah, Shane. Get that money, Shane.
Then you saw what happened with Jay-Z. Jay-Z got some money now. All of a sudden, he got locks coming all out of his ass. I can't call it. I can't call it. Lil Uzi Vert put a goddamn diamond in the middle of his forehead, and then somebody tried to pull it. This is what happens
I
when you
wonder
have
what I do
money.
if I get some money.
More like
Buy a
what would you
giraffe.
do?
Well,
Anyway.
that's easy. Anybody.
We know. We know. All right.
Oh boy.
All right. Let's start off with your favorite scene in the movie.
God damn.
Starting from the bottom to the top. BK, kick us off. What was and only one and B, don't tell the whole goddamn movie. Just give me the most impactful. And you can repeat.
What's your
the same
favorite scene? Not necessarily.
Yeah, what's your
the
favorite
most
scene?
impactful.
Of course, it's the main one everybody was talking about, but I'm gonna say the one when they was in the car and they had Delta Slim driving back, and they was driving past the prisoners, and he shouted to keep the morale up, and the overseer shot a shotgun to shut him up, and in that scene, he began to sing a song in that car, and what I learned today was that scene was improv.
Oh.
And the
wow.
original scene was a 3-page monologue that Delroy Linda was supposed to do, but Ryan cut it out one of the edits. And so he told Ryan, you got to put that scene back in the movie. And he said it wasn't about an actor wanting that scene to be in the movie. It was about being heard, about what that scene actually meant. And so Ryan put it back in the movie. And what was said was when Delroy started singing that song, that was improv. That was not part of the script. And Michael B. Jordan and Miles Canton looked at each other, and Miles just grabbed the guitar and just started playing. Like none of that was part of the script, but that scene was
remember
so
that
fucking
scene?
powerful.
It makes sense because he actually looks at him and says, "You got a guitar."
Yeah, you got a guitar.
Yeah.
Yo, that's crazy.
That
Like,
was
he
that
cued him to do
entire
that.
thing was improv. So, and the thing what I like about it so much now is knowing that it was improv. That shows the true artistry of thespians. That shows the true work of an artist. Like they improv that scene, but that scene was one of the most powerful scenes
I agree.
in the entire movie.
I think that scene. Well, for me, I'll just go next because that was my favorite scene. That scene had me welling up because it wasn't just a song; it was the tale of strange fruit.
It was emotional.
The fact that
he
talked about how they were locked up, then traipsed out to profit for the white people. They gave them a little bit of money, and the minute that they went to go spend it, the Klan came, lied on him, hung him, and when he said they cut his manhood off, and the pain in Delroy's chest that made you want to sing, that he had to sing to offset the pain. And it's just
you You could see it was like it was a trauma response. Like he had
Yeah.
to shake off that feeling. It was
But that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where we have all seen our grandmothers or our aunties do something similar where something happens and they're like, that there's something about that bellowing.
And I watched it next to an old lady.
Let me
and
finish.
she
Just let
did
me
that.
let me finish. What I admired most about it is that's where your Negro spirituals come from.
Mhm.
That what he gave you was a Negro spiritual, and the fact that it was improv is impressive. The fact that Michael B. Jordan, even in seeing him do that, cued the other actor to be like, "Hey, you got a guitar," and then he improved the guitar riff to go along with it.
Yep. He said,
Now I gotta go see this damn movie again.
He
But
said
that was
Ryan told him keep the camera rolling, and they just went with it.
well. How about you, Shaq?
I say.
Is you Foghorn Leghorn, nigga?
I think my favorite scene, kind of towards the end, because I do have a habit of like wanting to predict certain outcomes in movies, and with the scene starting with the twins buying the barn and them talking about like, oh, something wrong with this joint, and in the back of my mind, oh yeah, this here setup. There's gonna be some real bullshit towards the end of all of this. And with that, like, yeah, they use this mill as a, slaughterhouse. And I'm just like, as long as they shoot that fat motherfucker piece of shit, I ain't got nothing to complain about this goddamn movie. And granted, it took a minute. I'm sitting here like, I appreciate, I love the flashback. I'm getting emotional. But if you don't shoot this fat motherfucker right now, I swear to goddamn for God, I got real country in front of a lot of non-Americans.
Don't feel bad, Shaq. Me and ADOT was in the theater. Every time a white person got shot, I would give like a raucous applause. I was like,
bravo, bravo.
White folks was like,
oh my God.
The funny part about this, I wasn't by myself on this.
Because you gangster.
Because it's a different experience to be in front of a different kind of audience in this kind of film.
Yeah.
Because
oh yeah, because it's not predominantly white or black. It's wherever you at.
Yeah. So it's like some of their responses to stuff is not they not used to it. So it's like versus me like that's fucking right.
You getting a lesson today, nigga.
Right. So like, and I remember it very specifically in the beginning where the motherfucker going, oh, Clan don't exist no more. Literally silence. Yeah. You hear me in the back.
Sound like a somebody old nanny. The hell they don't.
Yeah.
All right. Come on now. I ain't gonna call you Jonathan Lesser no more. You want to be Smoke? Oh, you want to be Smoke? Come on, Smoke.
The first post-credit scene. That's that was amazing, man. That was that's the one that finally got me to got the tears in my eyes, because the movie by itself before that, when you think it's over at the credits, is perfect. But that one takes it over the top with recontextualizing what came before and getting multiple viewpoints on the story you just watched. And then when they talked about how like for a few hours we were truly free.
Ooh.
That was it for me. That hit home, man. So
when he said, "Do you still got the real in you?"
Yeah, that was so good. And I like how it starts out, because when they come through the door, you're like, "Oh crap!" Right? And you think something bad's gonna happen, but it turns into something like it's beautiful.
Yeah.
And to that point, Dot, I think that was indicative of, even though they were kind of under the control of the lead vampire, they were acting because they genuinely were like, we want you on this side because we want our family together.
To keep surviving.
It was fucking me up, because I'd have been like, I don't know, nigga, you might could bite me. We about to tear shit up.
They were really mad when he had to take Annie out. They were like, no, what are you doing? We gotta do this together. Like,
yeah,
so
we have to be together.
All right, wait, that's gonna lead to another question that's gonna come up throughout the show, but I want to get everybody's favorite. Murder, what was your favorite part?
Okay, so again, I know everyone had the same favorite, but the next favorite for me was when Preacher Boy was popping his own cherry, child. When he
God damn.
when he went in there and tasted on Miss Ma'am's yams. That was the scene.
Preacher Boy.
He said it with that bass. I just want
I just want to
Yeah. Talk about it right
said
here.
not the twang pink. Oh my lord!
I told you what I say. A little oodle noodle, go a long
Little
way.
Campbell soup never hurt nobody.
A little tang on it. And she just got done singing. Well.
Yeah, he sure was, and he came back out.
Letting her ass off.
All up on that stage.
He looked a little groaner, and he was just feeling himself after that.
It must have been good because he came out singing after that.
Right? And then I'm going to make another point, and it was with the black woman, okay? Because when the dude, I forgot which twin it was, but when the twin had the other woman, riding on him and stuff, he was gonna die. I was like, at least,
one
Preacher
person
Boy
got some set. Well, it was
yes.
I mean, well, that's that. I'll speak to that.
All right. Well, I'm speaking to that, but I'm just saying, look, with the way the movie was going, it was like he fell in love with that woman, and he, went down. He didn't even worry about her washing up and nothing. I was like, yeah, he just wanted to taste the whole berry. And I was loving it, but I sorry for which one was it, Smoke or Stack?
That was
Stack.
I was Stack. Sorry to Stack, but I'm just saying I love that scene a lot more because a sister was getting something. Mm-hmm. Okay, didn't have to squash or nothing, didn't have to use no hand soap or nothing.
So you just want to give your unwashed pussy to somebody. Got it.
2025.
I mean, if he not willing to lick your unwashed pussy at least once, he not the one.
Okay, there you go.
Where's the hold on? Where's the camera at? These are the movie reviews that you get with the head nerds in charge. Don't touch that dial just yet. We'll be right back. All right, Tef. Favorite part.
So outside of obviously the favorite part that we're going to discuss.
Yes.
Outside of that, my favorite part was towards the end where he's fighting the bad guy Remick, trying to fight him off in the water, and he starts to recite the Lord's Prayer, and Remick starts to recite the Lord's Prayer with him, and he's like, I remember these words when they came and forced their religion upon me, but this prayer always provided me comfort, because at no point was he ever like, no, I don't get it, like I don't get, like, it's not that I get what you're going through because I've been there. I have suffered what you have suffered, and I just want to take a piece of your joy that I can't claim for myself because I'm not capable. And Sammy really in that moment realized, well, religion, like, this isn't like, it's not all demons. Everything that's not God is not demon, and God is not necessarily, and white Christian God specifically is not everything.
Tef,
white Christian God didn't save him that day.
I've been waiting to talk about that scene.
Hold on.
I've been waiting on that one.
So, okay, y'all, there's a lot of scenes and a lot to unpack in multiple scenes with multiple implications about multiple things. We got a shit ton, but I want to go to what Tef said. I thought it was interesting in that particular scene because if you're familiar with Irish immigrants were derogatorily called white niggers. They were considered the bottom rung of white people. And
that's before the Italians got here.
What?
Because
the Italians had their collective, and they took care of themselves. White Irish immigrants had it really, really, really tough, and they were often sent off to war. Like they would come right off the boat in Ellis Island, put a gun in their hand, and put right back in to fight in the Civil War. And what I found to be interesting was if he was talking about when they came on our land, he's been around since the 17, 18.
He wasn't talking about like when the British came to America. He's talking about when the British came to Ireland.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, their own
like the original conquering colonization for him happened in Ireland.
It was in the 18th century,
right? In the 18th
Ireland.
So he's been doing this
1700.
and it's indicative of the gold that he had.
Yeah.
When he said this gold has been older and got more like he had real gold.
Like it's more valuable than anything you have.
Right. And I can just give it to you because I'm about to get it back. But that's a whole nother conversation.
Is that like, I have a question. Does that like equate to like the generational wealth type thing?
Well, I mean, honestly, I feel like the film gives a lot of parallels that we can all play on. Like the fact that they were vampires, but it's a similarity to cultural vampires. Like
they were culture vultures.
Listen, you got Pale Moon where everybody is getting it in that juke joint, stomping in unison, and then you had him with his dance routine, and it was a totally similar. He used black bodies to get his song out, but it's indicative of I need your talent to make my shit better. When him and the three of them did it, it was real corny.
It was dry.
It was very white.
Yeah, I mean, it got choreographed. It was like,
it was still white.
We're
not changing the fact that it was white.
It was. I would say it
there was no soul.
Yeah, it was.
It was very salt and pepper.
That's a great. When he first performed it, what is it? I picked Peter or whatever. That was real oil and salt. Well, no, I don't even think I got no salt.
It's very salt and pepper. Like that's
salt
all
and pepper. Yeah. But when them black folk got in there, even
they had some Lowry's in that motherfucker.
Hey. So you kind of see, he said, I need your talent to go see my people.
Yeah.
In music alone, we see that. How many black artists? I mean, Elvis would not be Elvis if not for black people. The most sampled artist in the history of music is James Brown. Black talent. All right. Let's take it from the top. BK, you said you had some you said you had some information about Smoking Stack coming from Chicago, because it opens with them meeting with the mill owner, who we later find out is the Grand Poobah, Dragon Wizard, Mortal Kombat, Decepticon, Megazord of the Ku Klux Klan.
All right, so during that time in Chicago was the era of the Italian mobs and Al Capone. Al Capone ran everything here. This was during the Prohibition era of the United States. What makes the movie so great in connecting it to Chicago was when Smoking Stack talked about having Irish beer and wine from Chicago. And this is why
Irish
it made
beer
it so
and Italian wine.
And Italian wine. This is why what it makes it so like heavy to like that specific detail of Chicago, because we have a very big Irish and Italian culture here in the city due to the fact that the mobs ran a lot of shit, and then the Irish came and opened up a lot of breweries, taverns, and bars with their own beer, and that's what kind of almost in the Prohibition era put Chicago on the map. One of the things that Al Capone ran here is a lounge called the Green Door. The Green Door is located up north, and under that lounge are secret tunnels connecting it to every bar and tavern within a certain block radius of the Green Door. To this day,
that's how they ran the liquor.
That's how they ran the liquor underground through the tunnels. Today, the tunnels are now a tourist spot with a bar and lounge down there where you can order drinks. You can still walk through the tunnels. You know, it's
put that in the movie.
And the thing that he put in the movie.
No, not this movie. I mean, don't they show that the tunnels in another movie?
Yeah,
I'm pretty
yeah,
sure.
they do, because at the end of the day, that's in the end when he shot at the KKK. That's how he got the Tommy gun, because the Tommy gun came from Chicago, came from Al Capone and them. They the ones who had the Tommy gun, and that's what made it popular, because it shot so many bullets and held so many bullets at once. So even like throughout the whole movie, you see certain things that he got from the mob. It's cool, like the way they dress, the negotiation of money, things he learned. He was like, he learned all these things in Chicago. One of the things he said in the movie was, Chicago ain't nothing but Mississippi with some tall ass buildings. And I swear to fucking God, to this day, Chicago is called Northern Mississippi, because at the during that time of the Great Depression, right after that, that was when the Great Migration was happening. Everybody was moving north. Everybody's moving north, and a lot of people from Mississippi came to Chicago.
Makes sense.
And in the scene with Buddy Guys, that lounge is actually real. Buddy Guy is still alive. He's every night that lounge has a live band playing live music.
Oh, that's dope.
It's all real. Like that stuff is like real.
And shout out to Kingfish, who was on stage with him. If y'all don't know who Kingfish is, he is the modern era BB King.
Yeah, and like that. So when I saw these things in the movie, I'm like, yo, Ryan did his fucking homework. Like this shit, like the way it's connected, even though it's a fictional movie, some of the
it was steeped in history.
Yeah, it's fiction, and the history is kind of real for the time period.
Okay, wait a minute. Pause that real quick, BK. For anybody else on the panel, what was the thing historically you loved the most about it? Because it is a period piece, and sometimes period pieces can be a little. It may not always connect because it's so old.
Right. Well, when white people do it.
You know what I mean. Go. Well, I'll start with Murder. Murder, what were you about to say?
Oh no, I was just saying, like, the fact that the blues was highlighted in the movie was my main thing. Because I had to sit here and just go right back in my memory banks about our ancestry. So it's like, you had the blues, and where did the blues stem from? It stemmed from our ancestors, and blues wasn't like happy, joyful music. It might have became happy and joyful a bit because it was being sung by like free slaves now. You know what I mean? It's being sung by a generation that's like experiencing something different than what our ancestors were going through. So that blues, that sadness, it was like resonating in the movie. Like I felt that, and I feel like Ryan did make this like come alive for me, spiritually.
I think that's where they set the movie up. In the very beginning of the movie, it talks about the power of music and breaking the veil. And then Delroy Lindo has a scene where he's explaining to Sammy how we brought this music over from Africa to here. And that's the whole point of the one scene where it shows past, present, and future coming together.
Right.
Let's get right into that.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Wait, you're not gonna let everybody else go?
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I was about to say anybody else.
Go ahead, Tef.
My favorite thing about like the time period. Oh, so I like how he talks to that. This may not be a time period thing, but when he asked that girl, when Smoke asked that girl to watch his truck, and he's teaching her how to negotiate and how to like be like, no, that's not good enough. When you do business, this is how it is. This is how you talk. This is what you ask for. And how like that little exchange to go back and forth. Like, I love that. And it's him just wanting to like put her on game, even if he didn't have anything else to offer her. Like, you're not just going to get this little bit of money. I'm going to give you this lesson. And then
I'm not going to just up it. I'm going to show you how to negotiate with everybody else.
so that you can do better for yourself like next time. Like a lot of people,
that's a little nuanced thing, but that's important. I love that, Tef.
Yeah, I kind of like, I miss that. Like, that's one of the things like I miss about like my grandfathers and stuff, because they would always do little things like that with us when we were children. They'd be like, no, this is how you ask, this is how you negotiate, like this is, you know what I'm saying? Like, people make fun of me for being able to run my mouth. It's a learned skill, baby, and I'm sorry you didn't have nobody to teach it to you.
Facts. No, big facts. Smoke, you nigga.
Addison.
Sorry, Buffalo.
You put the name Smoke.
I thought you were talking to Shaq. I was just gone. I was.
You need to take that stuff.
I'm about to just call you Stat. You want me to call you Stat?
Smoke didn't
Either
smell.
or. I
would have kicked you off the set. That's
right.
I was the stunt double.
You're a little too light skinned for Michael B. Jordan, but go ahead.
All the falls.
It was dark in the room.
Well, when they showed I didn't realize until they showed it. The owners of the convenience stores were Chinese, and I was suddenly like, they've been doing it that long.
Yep. They've been setting up shop in the hood since day one.
It was
real.
Yeah. So also the really cool thing about that is that back during that time they would have one store on one side of the street for black people and one store on the other side of the street for white people. So that's why he went across the street to get his wife at the other store. She was working the white. Yeah, she was working the white store where the white people shop.
They gonna get their coins regardless.
That historical accuracy was just
that's
like,
not
yeah.
that's less about like their ingenuity and more about racism. It's because they wouldn't give loans to black people to start their own businesses, and they kept burning black shit to the ground like they try and do at the end with the juke joint where the Klan comes.
And that's why Annie made the point about her money. When when he was like, I got real US currency, and she said, no, your money come with blood. He was like, all money come with blood. She was like, I don't care. I'm going to accept black currency. To me, and just that, listen, that one little snippet. Well, the
wooden nickels wasn't their money. That's from being sharecroppers and them being paid like company towns. It's being paid with company money. It don't mean anything outside of that little place where they live.
That's why he said, this is plantation money.
Right.
It's from that specific plantation. It was as with slaves were getting. People think that slaves were just doled out rations. A lot of times, what you did was you worked for the day. And mind you, this is when slavery had come to a conclusion, but a lot of black people still worked on the plantation because that was their only way of gainful employment. So the currency they gave you, they didn't give you the real money. They gave you plantation money because what you needed tools to pick the cotton. You needed the gin to pick the cotton. You needed the food and whatnot to sustain you. So they gave you the nickels as their own plantation currency so that you could go to that master's shack or rations and turn that money in, and they would rent the same shit that they were profiting off of back to the black people.
They would give it to the store, and the store would take it to the bank and exchange it out for real money and give the nickels and all that back to the plantation. Like, sorry, this is really passionate for me because where my family lives right now is where my dad's family lives. They were sharecroppers on that land. They still live in that house. That house where like my aunt and them lives is over 100 years old. That a lot of that where all those trailers and stuff are used to be cattle and pasture, like corn and stuff like that. So I'm like, so sorry if it seems really sensitive, but I'm like, that's my actual like real family history. I at one point had people alive who lived that.
And I think that's what makes it so prudent that she was adamant about accepting that money and then also accepting the money in the juke joint. He said, if you want to build a safe space, you have to make them feel welcome. And I love that being a part of that welcome feeling was excluding dangerous white folk. Shaq, what was your favorite historical part of this movie?
I don't think it was more so historical, but just like Southern culture kind of feeling. We're like country boy, and I think it was Stacks just driving around, grabbing folks, talking to folks, and everything. And it kind of like it reminds me of every time I'm heading back home to Georgia to see a couple of my folks and everything after doing all my army shit, and it just felt comforting and refreshing, and especially with where I'm at right now, it's just like I'm gonna feel that again when I get back home, kind of stuff like that. And it felt good. It felt
like everybody speaking to each other. Everybody know everybody.
Yeah, everybody. Like how everybody interact. Because like even when I go back home to Georgia, I'll pull up one of my homeboys' house and be like, "Hey, motherfucker, you still got that ugly ass car in your yard?" You know what I'm saying? Just like all that.
Yeah, like how he pulled up on Cornbread.
Yeah, like exactly how he pulled up on Cornbread.
And how he pulled up on Delta Slim. He was like threatening him again. I'm gonna bust your ass. But I think they and of course when it's a black production with a black director and a black cast, you are going to get authenticity. And And authenticity comes in the way we joke and quip and banter with each other that is so unique to us. There are certain mannerisms that, like, I ain't gonna front. I did not know that black woman was a black woman at first. I thought when he said that white woman, I wasn't familiar with the actress. Here's when
Haley
I knew.
Steinfeld.
Yeah, Haley Steinfeld.
Yeah, I didn't know who she.
You didn't
was.
watch Hawkeye?
No, I didn't. Oh, that's who that was.
A lot of Hawkeye fans, yeah, they watch.
Yeah, she grown now.
And she's also Gwen Stacy in Mal's universe.
She played a white woman.
She's
So,
also
no.
Gwen Stacy.
So her the
Wait,
background.
hold on, wait. Who is she?
Gwen Stacy from Miles Morales Spider-Verse. She's the
She
voice.
does the
that's
voice for
actor.
her.
I don't give a fuck about that.
Yeah. No,
I
they
can't see her face.
her character's backstory where her grandfather is half white. That's her real heritage. Her grandfather on her
I
mother's
understand
side.
that, but she played Hawkeye's daughter.
Yeah.
No.
Hawkeye white.
No.
Protege.
Hawkeye white.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought she was a white woman. That's the point. That's what I'm trying to say.
I mean,
thought she was white too.
Oh my god.
Technically.
Yeah, she thought she was white too.
She thought she was white too.
Yeah,
until
she
the
thought she
movie.
was white.
I'm glad it helped her to confront her whiteness, apparently, which she said in an interview. But
Mm-hmm.
for me, this is the moment that I realized she was black, and it's something that Murder posted earlier.
I'm with the twins.
With the twins? Boy, if you don't get the fuck out my face.
I am with them, man.
Listen, that black woman shit. That look, the get the fuck that get the fuck out of my face.
Yeah.
And that head tilt and that.
How many times y'all mama say that to y'all?
Bro,
Yeah.
I didn't see Teffy talk to me like that a couple times. So that was pure black woman. If you wasn't sure if she was black or not, you know now.
Every
You know
percent.
now. Okay. So obviously we open up, we find out that they're going to buy the mill. The mill is purchased, and Smoke and Stack make a very poignant threat to the mill owner that if the Klan come and knocking, they're going to get to rocking. Then they set out, like Teffy said, and they buy the catfish, and then we find out that they're, there's Asian Americans that are doing commerce, and there's the scene where they basically reestablished that they're back in town. They even had to shoot somebody in the ass to let folks know that we're not playing no games. Then cut to what I always love, the recruiting of the ensemble cast. The first person that they pick up is Delta Slim, played by Delroy Lindo. How did y'all feel about his performance?
Amazing.
I felt like that was like Oscar worthy for me.
Yeah,
Like as a supporting.
I think that was one of Delroy's. Ryan Coogler said, "I've been watching Delroy since Malcolm X, and I've yet to see."
I forgot.
Yeah. I've yet to see Delroy not be amazing in everything, and
no, he was nice
after the Five Bloods Oscar snub, and of course what happened with Blade. Addison made a good point that this could have been a Blade movie, go ahead. Addison.
I said that actually.
If Coogler made a movie, if he made
I was with Addison at the time, we was talking about it.
Oh my god.
If he made
credit to a black woman,
it would have been like the best Marvel movie.
No, it would have been dope.
But Tef, what did you say about how it should have been a Marvel the Blade?
Oh, I was like, this would have been like what the original Black Panther was for us. But like just that much more. Well, actually, no. I would like to backtrack that a little bit because Marvel has a lot of corporate meddling in final say in their projects. And I don't and as brilliant and wonderful as Black Panther is, I do not know that had he went the route of Blade, that we would have gotten this specific piece of art.
I agree.
X-Bo.
He fought their meddling to get X-Men 97 out.
Yeah.
And a lot of it was against some of his boss's wishes. What we got to see.
Him just doing what and them being like, it's good. Fuck it.
What's killing me is let black people cook. Stop thinking Stop thinking what we're gonna like.
I mean, it's just like the movie. they want us to do the work and they take credit for it. It's at the end of the day, it's like he's like when he was saying, I want what Sammy has for my benefit. That's the same thing as Hollywood. They want your creative genius and your artistic view.
I think it's a little bit BK. I think it's a little bit different because they want what we have, but then they want to dictate how we do it.
Yeah,
because they want it for themselves to sell to them, to other whites, and to sell back to us. They take it, water it down.
What do they say? Whitewash it.
Yeah.
Whitewash it. Yeah.
It's going from Boys to Men to NSYNC.
Well, and it's crazy like that because what was the old way that they go in middle of the road?
Yeah.
And remember, a lot of black groups on their albums, they would use white people or not put their image on it at all so that people wouldn't even know that they were black.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. So we get to the part where we get to Delroy Lindo and we find out, he's one of the best pianists in the entire Delta. He signs on to actually perform at the Juke. And then that's when we are introduced to, damn it, I had her name in front of me.
Haley Steinfeld.
Her. And she plays
Mary.
And we find out that she fucking
Stack.
Whew. Well, yeah, I know. It was hard to
they really played. The twins were genius for me. I really feel like I couldn't tell them.
The fact that Michael B. Jordan was two different people is just like
murder.
Distinctly two different.
There were points, and I think me and Addison talked about this. There were legit points where I forgot it was the same actor.
Can I say they did the press tour and I was like, where the other twin at?
Convinced. See,
because what I enjoyed was it was the same person, two different personalities. One was jovial and Joke was slick, he the pimp. And then it was like the military vet, the brooding, like cold-hearted killer, but he had a moral code. And he's the one that protected.
Listen, he was soft with his lady.
And he was soft, but he was soft with his body. And he was soft with his but I love his little brother. He's like, he referred to him as his big brother, even though they twins. So they came out at the same time, but there's one.
They didn't come out at the same time. One comes out before.
We know for most twins, they consider whoever came out first.
Was that better?
Yeah, I think Smoke was the oldest, right?
Spice.
Yeah.
Smoke.
Yes.
But
God forbid you be correct.
I was correct anyway. But look, sucker, we trying to honor black women today. Don't have me cuss you out.
Horrible.
I don't know why you're trying it.
I love it. I don't like this.
I don't know why you're trying it because I give as good as I can.
Down with Curtis.
I like it.
I'm feeling it.
You raggedy.
Because I think that's one of the reasons why they kind of wrote it into the movie that they split and go to two separate sides. Because them together, that takes a lot of choreography, a lot of making sure people are hitting their spots, even how they handed the cigarette to each other.
Yeah, you have to shoot the scene at least twice for him to do both parts. So it's like double the filming. Also, I will say at the very beginning, the part where they're waiting for the guy to show up so they could buy the mill, I felt that beginning part was too choreographed, but like the later scenes felt much more natural to me, like their movements and the way they interacted. But like them passing the cigarette back and forth and all that to me was it
was like we showing you they're two different people.
It was, but to me, like as somebody who like does choreography, it looked so choreographed to me. Like you could tell that they had practiced that over.
We got an hour to go. We got an hour to go and a lot to cover. Let's get right into the fact that Mary came back to bury her mother. She was hoping to run into Smokey and Stack because apparently her mother took care of
Stack.
Yeah.
Well, definitely Stack, but she wanted to see both the boys. Essentially, he basically tell her to get the hell on because she's now assimilated into white culture. We find out that she got a nice white husband up in
Arkansas.
I think that proximity to whiteness was a very interesting caveat in this movie because she could assimilate into white culture, because she had a white husband, because she could blend in. When they found out that they were running low on the till and they needed real money, that's what prompted her to say, let me go fill out these white folks. Now, as far as I knew, Smoke was very clear. Do not let these white people in. It wasn't no debate. It wasn't no conversation. And even if they had money, the threats and the reasoning that he presented were valid enough that even if they had bread, don't bring them in.
Well, they had offered to pay. They told him that they had bread, and he still was like, "Your money is no good here."
Right.
And he made the point: if they step on a shoe or look at the white woman too long, and they get into a fight, we have a bigger problem.
Spill a beer is an issue.
You don't know what's gonna happen.
So when she goes out there, thinking she's protected, thinking she's going to suss it out because I'm going to be okay.
Basically, because I'm one of them too.
Now, mind you, how did you feel in that moment? Because for me, it was, you just think you white. And how many times have you done that with other people where you be like, you think you with them, like especially with black Republicans right now, you thought you was down, you thought you was MAGA, and you still nigga.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hispanic Republicans fall in that line right now.
Yeah.
Colorism still exists in everything.
I will vote.
I literally was like, this is definitely her using the white privilege she got because she assimilated to the white side instead of being on the black side, which was
get the fuck out of there.
Like literally, she was like, I can communicate with them. Let let them talk. Like she was like, I'm gonna use my white femininity, like her white feminism. Like I'm gonna go talk.
It's more than that. It's more than that to me because that's like how white allies come into black communities being like, I know what you need. Let me serve your community because I know better than you. And she
like
did
that vampire.
Yeah. And she exactly. But that's what I'm saying. Like, that's the point. Like, you're just as bad as them for thinking you know us better than we know ourselves. That you can do for us better than we can do for ourselves.
And it's already proven that, at least for us, the viewers, we knew what the threat was. We knew it was a threat because we got to see the head vampire played by Jack O'Connell, Remick, pop into the frame, smoking like a Louisiana barbecue because the sun was going down, being chased by the Choctaw. How I love that they had Native Americans in there. And they was chasing white folks. They should have been doing that. If you did that shit when they first landed, we wouldn't be in this problem.
Well, they remember they was the first to let them in too. When they, you know what I mean? They're trying to keep them out.
Then the white people put out the gun.
Listen, and they've been paying for that mistake ever since.
Exactly. So they're forever protecting the lands.
So
that they have left.
We open up to them chasing this centuries old vampire.
Smoking man.
Yeah, basically. He knocks on the door and he basically he was a Karen. In that moment, he was a Karen. He
leveraged his whiteness.
Yep.
Which the Irish were prone to do against black people.
Listen, everybody cool with niggas until it's time to be a nigga.
Right.
And
I went to that door, and I thought it was prudent that when he got to the door, he said, "Hey, Native Americans are trying to chase me," and that racist motherfucker said, "You sure it wasn't no fair skinned nigger?" Like, damn, would that make you feel better?
Right?
Yeah.
Does that make it? Yeah. Does that somehow make it better?
But it was still the fact that it was them chasing him, and he was like, "I'm white, you should help me," and they did, and it was just like, bruh.
Well, you know what he did? No, he saw the clan outfit in the background.
He knew what to do.
And he immediately went to God. Like,
the racism of it.
Let him finish. Go ahead.
He immediately went to God. Like he's like, I know y'all are good, holy Christian folk. And that's what got him in.
Yeah.
So
it's crazy.
But is it crazy? Because look at the political landscape. When the people in power want to bring white folks to their side, what do they champion? Oh,
Yeah.
we want godly morals. We want y'all to. We want to. They
And
use
as somebody who had already experienced religious oppression, he was like, "Oh, I got you. I got it."
he knew exactly what to do.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's the same. It's rinse and repeat. It's literally rinse and repeat. The minute that they say, there's so many atrocities that have been co-signed because they said God wanted it. The Crusades, genocide in Germany, the Holocaust, slavery. The slavery, they gave them Bibles.
Tainted Bibles, yes.
But
yeah.
So yeah. I love how Ryan Coogler even showed white people how you're fooled. You let the devil in just because he come preaching about God. Because guess what? Don't nobody know God like the devil.
Right.
Exactly.
That was deep to me. So he ended up eating her, the father, and the baby in the crib. Did y'all know that he killed the baby too?
Yeah.
I didn't notice that he had killed the
I
baby.
didn't notice. I noticed the crib, but I didn't
baby.
notice the baby.
Yeah, the baby was in the crib.
Well, I didn't.
Wait,
You don't
what?
notice that the baby is dead though.
There was like blood prints on the crib.
Right.
I thought it was just from where he fell, where the father.
Yeah,
fell.
Well, the father, he had blood on him. You know what I'm saying? From when
Yeah,
he
but
got
that's what I
make-
mean. Like that's
it
how
make
it got on
sense.
the crib.
It makes sense though, because why have a crib if there's no baby? Yeah.
Yeah.
And just talk about good filmmaking. So the buzzards are flying over that house when the Indians
Yeah,
show
the three
up.
buzzards.
And when they
Native
leave,
Americans.
when the natives and when they leave,
they
buzzards
stayed.
have settled
Yeah, the
onto
buzzards
the
I
house.
was like, yeah, like got her, it's over. I was like, yo, that's crazy. Well done.
Yo, I like that is foreshadowing.
Yeah,
There's
good.
That was
buzzards,
dark. I
and
love
if
that.
you don't know what buzzards and ravens represent death.
And they want to eat the dead
they're
things
just
that are
waiting
left
They're
behind.
actually made
So they
up to
know
eat
what's up.
decaying flesh.
Yeah. So like but even in spiritualism, they represent either bringers of death. Like ravens actually bring souls back and forth to the afterlife in some mythologies, and same with buzzards. Because I think that it's important that Addison brought that up, because then we talk about black spiritualism, because don't forget he had a mojo bag on him. So we'll get to that. Oh my God, there's so much to talk about. Okay, let's fast forward a little bit. All the races white people die. They get to the juke joint. They frying up the chicken and the catfish. Thank you. They frying up the catfish. They getting the juke ready. Sammy runs into a little love interest.
That also happens at the train station, though.
Yeah, right. That's why I'm doubling back. Sammy ran into a little love interest that becomes a pertinent character once they actually get to the juke joint, because she too is a singer. But she married, but like any good nigga now.
He's going to say happily.
That's a bad.
But are you happy?
Happily was wild.
That was wild. That was like,
I was a married woman. You won't be able to handle all this.
So let's get right into my girl. And I always mess up her name.
Wunmi Mosaku.
Wumi, yeah. Wumi.
Okay, Mumi.
Smoke goes to visit the grave of his daughter who passed away.
Their baby.
Their baby.
I think it's their son.
It was a daughter.
Their daughter.
It was a girl at the end.
Yeah, it was a baby girl.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm not wrong.
I'm asking because it's not like super clear. They're all dressed in white.
No, she says you can hold her. She says you can hold her.
Oh,
Yeah. She says her. I mean, she didn't use other pronouns, so I'm assuming.
So no, because it sounded like him, but with her accent, I can see where it was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but okay, Wumi. Yes. Wumi's been great from Lovecraft Country. Loki.
Yeah.
Yep.
Deadpool.
Check out his house on Netflix. It is great. Also a good movie.
And she's on a show on Prime. It was like a horror series.
Well, check her out, period, because that is a talented sister. I'm talking about Angela Bassett level acting. And what I love most about it is she was the true heroine of the entire movie. She knew what it was. She stuck to her spiritualism. And really, she's the one that kept the vampires from invading from the rip. Now, she also has the single best scene in the entire fucking movie. Because the way my dick jumped when she grabbed his throat and said, "Your body remember me," I said, "Oh."
Yes. Wow.
You can't grab
I was like,
me
me
like
too.
that.
I was like, me too, girl. Me too.
Listen,
Yeah, Lord have mercy.
Did you
I
see
do
what
declare.
Jordan wasn't
You
acting?
said grab his throat.
She did that, and I was like, "Ooh."
Oh, I was like, she did. I remember her saying that when she
No,
grabbed
it was
his
the dick for me.
It was the dick grab, like
Yo,
your body. I said,
Yeah,
body remember me, and I was like, mine do too. Mine do.
yeah.
I remember.
But you know what scared me though? I wasn't sure if it was like really how big. You know that print. I wasn't sure if that was his real print because you know how they was talking about him back in the day. But I was like, oh, did it grow? I was like, oh,
He's growing, not a shower.
Yeah, he a grower.
That's all right. Listen,
I
he got
like
a pocket presence.
Listen, he had enough. He had enough dick to get through them cheeks.
Okay.
Yeah, from behind.
Cause
Ooh,
that's
wow.
some cheeks right there.
He ain't been all the way over.
Yeah.
I'm
Right.
just saying.
Man, he had to go upwards.
Made it through the
I
ends.
was his stunt double.
That was his stunt double. No.
Addison, like, yeah, Woomy.
No.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of times I thought when those
What
scenes
scene
when
is
it was
this?
two of them that they just used the stunt double and just put his face on the stunt double. I really thought that.
Está haciendo muchas preguntas.
Addison, so you was doing the bending, huh?
So you doing the bending.
Addison was doing the bending.
You doing the bending.
All
Lord
right.
have mercy.
During that scene, I'm gonna speed up the synopsis because we get 45 minutes about. We learn that she's been praying and using her hoodoo and root work to protect them while they were in the military. And they have the debate on whether or not Black spiritualism is actually real and whether it works or it helped them. But she recharges his mojo bag and she basically asserts that, hey, this is real for me. This is my culture. And I'm going to keep doing it in protection of you, even if you don't believe it. It becomes an important plot point later on because that mojo bag actually keeps him from getting bit by his brother.
Can I interject real fast? How they don't, just real fast, they don't demonize these women's sexuality at all, even when the one is married, because literally,
yes, that was nice.
Yes, they don't. They're not.
All three of them got the fucking.
Yes, she's not shamed or like, and nobody's like, "Ooh, you fucked the fat bitch." No, she's just as desirable and powerful and beautiful as any of them little skinny other bitches in the rest of the movie. And
She just
even
had stronger hands.
Better.
But niggas like it when you got a strong hand.
Listen, when she grabbed that throat, I was like,
listen, when he was like, "Baby, you drooling," and she was like, "Do you want to taste?"
You want
taste
some?
it?
Hold on. Wait,
I thought of H&IC on that part. Because
Hold on.
I was like, some of y'all like that spit swapping shit.
Look,
Yeah.
listen,
Right back.
listen. As a nigga who has absolutely drizzled and been drizzled, ain't nothing wrong with a little drizzling, baby. Well, I thought he was gonna turn into a vampire then. Now,
Right then.
Yeah.
That would have been so wild.
Bro. When I saw that, I was like, me next.
It was the
Oh
line.
my
It was the
God.
line that followed that.
Yeah,
It was the line that
This is what I'm
followed
saying.
that.
Like
What,
none
what,
of
what,
them.
what did she say? You can rob.
She said you can rob trains
you
and
can't
bakes
rob
all
this
day,
woman."
but you can't steal this pussy for one night. I said,
Wow.
But at
Listen,
no point, at no
wait,
point are
wait.
they like, and they're never like, "Ew, you doing too much."
Damn
That's
that.
not
When
a
he-
women's
when she said
place.
that, I wanted to be like, swiper, no swiping.
no, for real.
No, but
Haley channeled her blackness for this movie.
what?
You wanted all
And
the
you
smoke.
see how it's not how the oppression of women is rooted in colonialism,
Oh
capitalism.
my God, we get it. Women ain't oppressed. God damn.
They
I ain't gonna
weren't
lie.
in this movie, and they didn't make them ashamed. Their sexuality is celebrated because at the end of the day, women know more than anybody. Niggas is just as devious as us.
Mhm.
No, they even showed the strength of women from protecting their own child to even being nurturing after their death.
Mhm.
Like it was literally like
All
I
right,
was
we're not gonna do
sacrificing
that because
myself.
I was very annoyed with her, and we'll get
Oh,
to that.
come on.
No, not that part. I was talking about
Not, he's about to be
Woomy.
very
Damn, fuck, it was
Woomy.
got 45 more minutes. Shit.
all
Yeah.
right.
All right. Damn, y'all, we are on a finite amount of time. This is what happens when you get a good movie. Everybody want to talk about stuff. We only got 2 hours, and we done used up most of the time.
We were standing around after the movie for an hour just talking before we even went.
That's what happens when you know it's a good flick. Now I can't even do like a full overview. Let's just go to key points. The music.
On point.
The music.
The sound mixing in general.
If y'all haven't been able, download the soundtrack. The soundtrack set the tone for the whole movie, and I just want to jump to the quintessential scene where past, present, and future all meet, and Sammy is breaking the veil. The juke joint is proverbially burning. You got African dance.
On fire.
Set the roof on fire.
You know,
He set the roof on fire.
The roof is on fire.
We don't even know burn, motherfucker, burn. Yeah, that was that.
Ryan is a genius. A
Genius.
Genius.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm
you see
clipping
it
that
now.
shit. I'm clipping that. The roof was on fire.
Yes.
Yes.
Ryan Coogler, you ugly mustache having motherfucker.
Yes. You have to be ugly.
Leave his mustache alone.
I love him. I want to twirl it and just be like, yeah, see? Yo, so you get to see African dance and
So
you get to see
also,
hip hop.
you get to see more than one African culture represented because
Yes.
we are part of the diaspora as a whole.
Yeah, I thought that was beautiful. But also, you get to see hip hop. You get to see the twerkers when they was in the kitchen. You got to see even
rock and roll.
The Chinese. Well, I thought it was dope that he put the Chinese music in there. And the geisha dancer, the geisha dancer in there, and then worked his way around to who I would assume is either Bootsy Collins or
it came across as Bootsy Collins to me.
Yeah, same. I would say Bootsy over Jimmy, but
that was
the geisha dance I thought was interesting because it was like
are,
maybe he channeled the spirits of everybody in the building, including the Asian couple.
Yeah.
So it was like he channeled the ancestors of everybody's past, present, and future, and it was like, yo, that's dope as fuck.
And what you have to notice is the technical skill. Ryan Coogler did what they did, a long take. He did a single shot where they moved. All of that was happening simultaneously as he moved the camera around the crowd, and eventually they come back. And you can see the crip. They even had people crip walking. They had crip walkers.
California of him.
Listen, he had to have his little LA culture in there.
Yep.
Yeah.
I appreciate the little ATL they had in it with the long t-shirts and the
yeah. They did have that.
Yeah.
They was over there shooting dice.
Yeah. And that's the thing, Shaq. You can watch this movie 10 times and watch that scene 10 times and find new little nuances that you didn't see. And that's what makes a movie rewatchable.
Right.
Not just that song, but also Pale Moon, where oh man, what's her name again? God damn it. Mary.
About the girl.
No, not Mary. Yeah, what's her name?
You about Pearline?
Pearline, thank you.
He said Pale Moon.
Yeah, it's called Pale Moon. At least that's
the name of the song she sang.
I thought you was calling her that. I
wasn't calling her that.
I was
like, Miss Ma'am was a cat on a hot tin roof. The way she was sliding across that stage,
she was on that ground. Yeah. I was like,
oh my
you
god,
got that button licked and you don't know how to act.
Yeah.
All right. While the place is jumping, they doing the damn thing. Cornbread off in the distance. See 3 white folks pull up on the party. They asked to be invited to the barbecue. Can we just talk about the pros and cons of how they handled the situation?
Yeah.
Were there any cons?
Yeah, hell yeah, there was some cons. The fact that she went out there to talk to him in the first place.
The fact that when Stack dies and he takes everybody out, and that's not what she said to do.
Right. She said, take the dead body out, and he essentially says, leave him in there, which he shouldn't have done.
So
Also,
no, I meant the part before that where he's like, "All right, y'all, get out and leave," and she's like, "No, I meant keep everybody out." She said, "Keep everybody out, like out of that room," and he makes them leave the juke joint.
Yeah, because
and that's not what she meant. She was like, "We can't let these people leave. What are you talking about?" And the fucking place is damn near empty.
Well, that's because we thought they really got away, and instead they turned a part of the dance crew to the Vampire Nation. When Cornbread essentially dies because he went to go take a piss, and he comes back.
The longest piss I've ever seen.
And his dick was not pretty.
You saw the dick?
You didn't see it? I saw it.
We saw
Watch it again.
IMAX, didn't you?
It was poking. Yeah, I saw it in IMAX. Yep.
So did we.
I wasn't hard.
I didn't watch it again. It looked like
I don't want to go watch it again for his dick.
I mean, I'm
you
just
can
telling
see
you
like
there.
a little bit of the tip sticking out. Just it's not
Yeah.
like
Why are we focusing on the dick? God damn! Can I? He
It
comes
looked like
back.
it was roasted first.
He comes back.
Man,
This is
live. By the
Old
way.
balls and old dick.
Center
We
dick.
talked about
All
four
right.
dicks, and we're not even halfway through the movie review. We didn't talk about four dicks.
oh my
All
god.
right, he comes back, and obviously, this is where Annie makes this. Basically, she said that they were hates, which could have been demons or any kind of evil spirits. But then she's really able to ascertain exactly what they are when Cornbread comes back and she said, "Admit what you are. You're dead." My big issue is, ain't no way in the world I was going to hand that nigga money. I would have threw that money so far in his face.
It would have been a
whoop. Ain't no way. But we get one of the
shoot him.
Yeah. Well, we do get one of the best jump scares in the movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was definitely a jump scare.
Because I forget what the actor's name is.
He's one of those guys that's been in everything.
He's been in everything black.
He been in like a lot.
Omar Miller. Omar Benson Miller. Listen, he was funny. He was comical. And when he turned on, that he was scary as hell.
Scary.
Yeah.
Once we get Cornbread that reveals himself, and well, really, you kind of knew from him shooting Stack's girlfriend that something wasn't right, but now they could define that it is vampires. I love the fact that they stayed true to vampire lore, because once you establish that they're vampire lore says that vampires can't come in unless
Invited. Yeah.
Invited.
And now we've seen that remain true through multiple movies. Lost Boys was like that. Lost Boys kept true to that. Bram Stoker's Dracula kept true to that. Be careful about who, and again, it was like, be careful who you letting in the house.
Perfect. It's perfect.
Yeah. That black woman was trying to protect them.
Yeah.
But no. Well, you can see.
And that's what I was about to say. Do you feel like once they got into the shit, isn't it amazing how now she became the formal, like everybody wanted to listen after the fact. Now,
well, you get,
but
I was like, you got to think about the time period, because even when Cornbread said, "I ain't talking to you, woman. I'm talking to Smoke." Women didn't get respect. You speak when spoken to. You do not speak out of turn. You just there like to be there. So it was that time period. Nobody listened to him.
No, but that's crazy because he went so hard when Stack came to him and he was like, "Don't talk shit about my wife."
Yeah, but he wasn't a vampire then. That's why he was a vampire trying to get in. He ain't the same nigga no more.
See how white people bring patriarchy and bullshit, and now you disrespecting women.
Aaron says, but in other vampire movies, they don't have to be invited in a TV series. Yeah, they pick and choose when they want to use that caveat. Because even
so the TV series of Let the Right One In maybe doesn't do it, but the movie does. The movie Let the Right One In.
Because I also thought the idea of what if they rescinded the invitation?
Yeah, that's what Teffy told
everybody
like,
out.
You can rescind a vampire invite.
Because I was like, why didn't they just do that?
But see, that's why it made sense why each person that got turned within the juke joint ran out of it.
Yeah.
Because the minute that they got turned, they did not get an invite yet. They had to go back out and then get invited back in.
Yeah, they had to get out because they were never. That's the politeness of a vampire. Which they have to get out.
Yes, politely bite my ass. Okay.
Yeah, I ain't gonna kill you till you invite me.
Either way, a fight breaks out in the juke joint. Everything everything goes to hell. They do a Riverdance dance sequence, and let's just get to the meat and potatoes. This motherfucker right here, boy. If I see her in the street, I'm squaring up with her.
Don't do that.
Oh my God!
Don't do that.
Come on in, my
Oh my God!
I get it.
Hurry up
I
and buy.
get it. I get it. But don't
Not
do
hurry
that.
up and buy. That was so racist.
I know.
I get it, but don't do that, man.
Well,
I'm sorry.
The head vampire basically lets them know they're all telepathically connected, and that's when they all are trying to convince them to come into the fold of the vampiric family. And it kind of he monologues his whole plan. He's like, look, I want to give y'all. He said they deny you fellowship and growth, or they don't let you build. And that's when he lets them know that, hey, that dude that sold you the mill, they was gonna come back tomorrow and kill you anyway.
Yep, and take it back.
Take it right back. They've been doing that to us.
And ain't no telling in history how many times that's happened to black people, where they give their cash to a white man to buy property.
Well, Delroy Lindo already gave you the story at the beginning, so we knew how this was going to turn out. So my question to the panel: after the very convincing diatribe of Remick, would you have joined the vampire fold, or would you have still stayed in the juke joint?
If I gotta do that jig, I was not joining shit with
you. Know what? I hate you.
First of all, don't do that. That was whimsical skedaddling at its finest.
Yeah,
My boy
that was good river
that
dancing.
shit.
That man was a professional river dancer.
Listen, he channeled his ancestors when he was doing the little jiggity jig.
Yeah.
I get it. But
He
I'm
said
just
a
saying,
nig doing a jig. Ain't that something?
but no, absolutely not. Like it was just, I don't know, something about it not looking as different or culturally written as how the blues was going on inside the building. They're out here and they're all dancing the same way, listen to the same music and whatever, and they're just
Murder.
the
Would you join the vampires or no?
No, I just told you. I
All right, Shaq, would you join them?
Nah.
Addison?
No. But I think about it.
During that time period, hell no.
Before Teffy, I would have been the first nigga in line.
I bet.
Mm-hmm.
I live forever. I now have power. I might not be able to see the sun, but now I can get these white folks back. I'd have Nat Turner the shit out of everybody.
Oh, please. Not Nat Turner. You would have ate us?
He said he would have only tacked
Shaq knew where I went. Shaq knew exactly where my mind went. Eating so.
It's the pause of like,
that would be good. Yes, Murder.
Just
I would have ate
taste
y'all.
You would have just wanted to
Teffy,
taste
would you
That fits
join?
your personality anyway. Oh, did I say that out loud?
Fuck you.
Wow.
Sorry, go ahead, Diablo.
Teffy, would you join them?
I would have seriously fucking considered it.
Yeah.
I thought he gave a very
single, no child me.
wow.
Yes.
We could just turn your child.
No.
a child forever vampire. No.
I know.
Oh yeah, that didn't go out well.
As somebody who's seen an interview with a vampire, no.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I thought his, even though I don't want to be in
His
control
pitch
of
was good.
Nah, the pitch was immaculate.
The pitch was very convincing.
Listen, in the words of Delroy Lindo, I just don't want to follow no Peckerwood.
That was the part that got me. Like he mind controlled them, and I was like, I don't want that shit. Like I would have been like,
I don't know if he was mind controlling them, but
Well,
he definitely was sharing memories.
Oh, he was.
But he was
Well,
controlling them too.
Well, it's in some vampire lore that like the person who turns that person to a vampire,
You
like
have
they
to obey
gain the
them.
knowledge of that person's
Yeah.
memory. So that's why
That's what he said. He said, I can see their
turned all of
memories.
these people, so I know everything from everybody.
And with him being their maker, he was in control of them.
Yeah.
Mhm. That's why all of them
I don't think they if that was the case, I don't think he was controlling them. I think what they understood was the truths of his mind, and they were like, all right, we with it.
Yeah, they were.
Yeah.
I mean, the mind link part. That's what I mean. Like, because
Yeah.
when he was fighting Sammy in the water, they was all standing at the water.
Yeah, I feel like
that,
help him.
But BK, that can't be the case because then Stack and Mary wouldn't have gotten away.
Yeah,
if
that's
they were all
that's
under
the part
his
what
control.
got me. I think what one person said was their love is what made them.
No,
separate.
you add shit to the movie.
They said that's what made
he
them
wasn't
separate.
mind
That's why they
controlling.
ran away
He
together.
just wasn't mind controlling them. If you had shared memories, if you had a shared understanding, then the minute that you turn, you know, one, you're a vampire. Two, you're only going to survive if you go along with everyone else. And three, yes, we're going to turn all these other people. And now they said we're going to go down and go fuck up these white folks.
Yeah.
Once you get turned, I mean, it just makes sense. I'm not saying that he didn't have influence over them, but I don't think he was like puppet mastering them.
Yeah.
Because like Effie said, Stack and his girl wouldn't have been able to run away.
But they were linked in a way that like they could they also, it wasn't just they shared memories and knowledge. They could feel what he felt.
Yeah.
But I think
they all got hurt with the when the silver hit his head.
Yeah.
I think they were all, it's kind of like that mob mentality, like in a way, like they were just so into it. But Mary and Stack were like, nah. Once his brother made him promise not to hurt Sammy, he was like, all right, girl, come on, we getting the fuck out of here. I made a promise.
But didn't they say that they will always come back, even, you know,
we said you still gotta kill them one by one. Yeah.
Because killing one doesn't turn them back from being a vampire.
Right.
Right.
And at first I was like, damn, are they going to heal? But they apparently heal. It's just they don't heal instantly.
Yeah.
Because it's not like they walked in when he walks in the mid-cut scene, everything's all healed up. I felt the ending was anticlimactic for me. I did like the prayer recital. I thought that hitting him in the head with the silver was a great caveat to it, which distracted him from Michael B. Jordan's killing him. But I just was like, stabbing him from behind. I wanted to see something a little bit more epic with the final battle scene.
Yeah.
And I didn't get. All right. Did anybody else feel like it was anticlimactic, or were you good with the way it ended?
I was good.
I liked it the way it ended.
Simple. It wasn't
done.
too much. They say the climax for the.
Hold on, wait. Hold on. Go ahead, Addison, and then I go to BK, and then I go to
think the visual of him on fire was like not even before he like disappeared in the air, like especially because we saw it again in IMAX.
Right.
And the visual of him walking through the water, his whole body, his skeleton on fire.
Yeah, it looked like he gave up when he kind of gave himself up to it.
Yeah.
And the fact that he burned in water.
And they used like a lot of practical effects. So I mean, not everything in there was computer. Was
CGI.
That's wild.
BK, what was you about to say?
I was saying, like, I think they saved like the climactic end for the morning when the KKK showed up, and it was like the big action. They saved the action for that.
Well,
so therefore, I didn't have a problem with the ending. Huh?
Yeah, you're right. That's not the end.
That wasn't the end. The end was with him killing the KKK.
Yeah, I agree with you. Then I kind of rescind my statement. Then that was the grand finale.
Yeah,
tied up nicely with the mid-credit scene.
Yeah.
Let me see. All right, so we learn Stack gets away. He's gonna live his life as a vampire. Smoke absolutely could have. I thought this was interesting. Smoke could have gotten his car with Sammy and escaped.
Yeah.
But because he lost his wife, he lost his baby, and now in his mind he lost his brother. He pulls the mojo bag off his neck. And he pops the trunk. I was like, Ryan Coogler, really? You popped the trunk on him?
Pop the trunk on there.
Yeah, popped the trunk on him and pulls out not only like BK pointed out earlier, the Tommy gun and whatnot he got from the mob, but also the military grade weaponry he got from World War I. He lies in wait, and the next day, how did y'all feel watching all them white folks go down one by one?
I was proud.
Every single movie that features the Klan in it needs to end this way.
Yes, amen.
Clock that T. I likened it to the ending of Inglorious Bastards.
Yes.
Yeah.
Inglorious Bastards is a great ending that is not historically accurate, but goddamn, that's the way it should have ended.
It was so fucking good.
It gave more like Django Unchained for me.
Yeah, that's what Addison said too.
Yeah.
Ryan Coogler gives a lot of credit to Puss in Boots, the wolf in Puss in Boots, for the inspiration for Remic's eyes and the evil behind his eyes. And I thought it's interesting what influences, because if y'all haven't seen Puss in Boots, Last Wish,
Last Wish.
Last Wish,
that wolf ain't no joke.
He was evil. He was evil.
Like that wolf out at there were certain points I was like, this ain't no kids movie.
Not you giving a recommendation for Puss in Boots.
Yeah. No.
That movie.
It was never a kids movie.
No, Tef, you haven't seen it?
Not that one. No, I've only seen the first.
Really, you should see it.
I watched
it with my
got
kids.
action. It's
No,
a
you
good
should watch it. It's
No,
good.
the first one was good. I was like, nigga, y'all not giving Donkey no movie. I'm not watching to it.
You know what?
That's crazy.
I'm screaming.
Yeah. I love Monty. The wolf, sexy as fuck. Yes, Monty.
I will say the wolf gave
Lord.
Big Daddy vibes in the trailer. So
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he ain't no joke. But I enjoyed that. Isn't it crazy in a movie full of vampires? Still, the most dangerous motherfucker were plain old white folks with racism.
They use racism to their advantage.
Listen,
Yeah.
That's
and it worked.
it's hate. It's
It
hate.
worked. That's the American system.
yeah. And we still
And
live
it's
in
still
it.
working.
It's still working. Yeah.
Still
Thank you, Murray.
fucking working.
Mhm.
And yeah, he wipes out the Klan. He takes a bullet, and we kind of see him make peace with his death. He gets to see
Oh, never mind.
he gets to see Annie and his baby one last time, you know, in like a mirage kind of situation, and then we see
I like to think they go off to the afterlife together.
They all
before
went
after
Yeah,
he
they're in
dumped,
the afterlife
before
together.
after he dumped an entire clip into that white man.
Woo!
After he
best
dumped
Lord's
it,
work.
Oh,
I love how it was like, let me see my hold on.
Oh, my bad.
Get your ass up, nigga.
I'm in the middle of something.
Check, yo, he really was like, you still talking?
You see me get
Yeah,
my
like,
he
damn,
was
I
like,
done.
oh.
I can't roll my cigarette and shit. And you just motherfucker.
He was like, I'm gonna let you die in peace while I die in peace. And like, now you fucking up my moment. Now I gotta fuck your ass up.
Like, damn,
He
I
was
can't
like,
smoke.
damn, I can't see my baby.
Because first he was like, I'm gonna smoke this cigarette. He was like, wait, my baby. Who told you to talk?
Right.
Now, listen, y'all.
Oh, my bad.
There's a lot of things that we didn't really get a chance to highlight. There's so much in this movie that honestly I should have known 2 hours and 6 niggas was not going to be enough to cover it all. We didn't even get to the fact how that goddamn Asian woman burned her husband alive
Listen.
to protect her children.
She said, my daughter gonna live, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She meant that.
She said, ain't you a soldier? And if any time to get crunk, now's it.
She was about that action, and I really love that about her.
She meant that shit.
No, I hated it. Not action. Can we? He said, let me think. Like, damn.
Ain't nothing to think about when it came to her
Really?
child.
Right.
When it came to her child, there was no
What are
thinking
you
about that.
talking about? You could have come up with a decent plan that everyone could have survived. The way her plan got everyone killed.
Because he said, you either invite us in or we go to town and kill everybody. It's your choice.
But they did. But she was just talking.
He was just talking. They were still lit.
Yeah.
He was bluffing.
I'm not saying she did the right thing. What I am saying is
You hit the women's rights and wrongs. I know.
One, and then also no, because like a lot of times, as somebody who watches as much horror movies as I do, a lot of women in these movies just devolve into fucking tears and they
Yeah.
just cry
damn-
and they wait to be saved, and like they'd be like, oh, I can't do anything, I don't know how to help, and like newer horror movies, more modern movies are like, no, women are the real fucking shooters. They really be about that action. She said, I don't care if he's bluffing. I'm not giving you a chance to turn your back and go after my child.
To me, that's not a good example. She's an idiot.
Oh, come on.
No, I thought it was an idiot move, but I get her
understanding. Annie's a shooter. Pearline was a shooter because what I will agree, there were no damsels in distresses. The people who were in distress were the men.
Yeah.
The men needed the goddamn help.
Yeah.
They did. They did.
All the women were killers.
They was about that action for real. The women
Right.
was ready.
Yeah.
They
Even
was
the
ready.
vampire white woman.
Oh,
She was
God.
putting in that work.
Yeah.
Like,
She's the one.
killed
She's
Delroy.
the one who comes to the door with the shotgun in the beginning of the film. She's like,
Right.
Man,
Yep.
literally
Protecting the household.
every single woman in the movie, down to the little damn girls.
Mm-hmm.
I told them, she that little girl cussed them niggas out. I told you it was smoke truck. Shut the fuck up. I was like,
yeah.
that little girl was like, I told them niggas. And that little
Right.
Asian girl, I know black attitude when I see it.
Oh yeah, she got black friends.
Daddy said, "Come here."
She
Yeah.
got black friends. She got
They
black
had that
friends.
on lock.
Think about that. When
she-
in a movie have you never seen not one damsel in distress? Not all them women were strong.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Including cornbread wife in the field who was pregnant. Like, go get that money, nigga. Go get that money.
Exactly.
She said, ain't, ain't nothing to talk about. Go get that money.
Yeah.
Like
How
she was pregnant in the field. Like, what did you put?
She said, "Nigga, I'm trying to have a day off when I have this baby. You better go get this motherfucking money."
Like for real.
So, I to Teffy's point, you're absolutely right. I still don't agree with the actions.
Yeah,
of,
I'm not saying I agree. What I am saying is I liked her characterization.
Mrs. Chow.
Yeah, I liked her characterization that she wasn't like weak. She didn't act because she didn't act out of fear from like a weak place. She acted out of fear in a moment of like strength. Like she wasn't crying like, "Oh my God, just let him in." She was like, "Nah, nigga, nah, come get this work."
No, honestly, they should have just let her go outside. All she wanted to do was kill her husband, make sure he didn't get back. And I thought I kind of surmised that maybe she thought by killing him it would erase the memories. So they didn't know how to find their daughter. Because she only went right for him. She
went
said
right for him. She sacrificed herself for him.
Mm-hmm.
Also, a lot of black people died because y'all keep letting the wrong motherfuckers to the barbecue.
I don't necessarily think
They didn't really get let in.
Yeah, I didn't think they were the wrong people. They just
said what I
acted out
said.
of turn.
I said what I said. All right, real quick, there's a breakdown on a couple of cool things from the movie. The juke joint in Sinners was inspired by Ernie Barnes' 1976 painting, The Sugar Shack. And this, I mean, you've maybe seen this in Good Times, and it's a very popular black piece of art. Also, they even did their own little rendition of it, which I thought was really super cool. They break it down. The music is more than a vibe, it's resistance. We kind of talked about that, how important the music was. The film Juke Joint isn't just a setting, it's a sanctuary where culture is preserved and defiance is performed through rhythm and blues. These spaces have been traumatized. They come in and they break down the speakeasies. There's even a thing now where they still call doing black-owned businesses the Chitlin Circuit. And it's just it's a derogatory term to mean lesser because it's black-owned. It flips the missionary narrative. This is what I thought was interesting. The white missionaries and sinners are not painted as saviors, but as figures whose presence complicates rather than clarifies. This reversal mirrors the historical reality of missionary work used as a colonial tool in Africa and American South, often cloaked in language of benevolence. The film doesn't demonize them, it contextualizes them, forcing the audience to confront how faith and control have often walked hand in hand in black communities. There's a saying that the worst thing they ever gave niggas was the Bible.
Yep.
Go ahead, Marta. You was about to say something?
Oh no, I was just agreeing with everything you were saying.
I honestly, I don't want to get too deep into faith because we all have our personal beliefs.
I kind of do. Now I got something to say.
Oh.
I kind of do.
Marta.
So I couldn't help but notice that Preacher Boy is the spawn of a preacher. Right. And it was funny how I feel like in our history when it came to the blues stemming from like the songs that they used to sing in church as well, I felt like the preacher was trying to protect that, keep him from going out with the blues, and he felt like he was going to ruin that. because it's connected to our ancestors. So it was
No,
funny.
he did that because he considered the blues the devil's music.
He considered it the devil's music, but that's what he was going to go out to sought out to do. But
that's still all language of the oppressor, because
I agree.
anything they can't monetize and monopolize is considered the devil. All of our ancestral spiritual practices like root work, hoodoo, voodoo, that's all the devil, but it's not the devil because there's anything wrong with it. It's the devil's because white people don't fucking understand
right.
Because white people can't capitalize.
Well, hold on, let her finish. Go ahead,
like
I was saying
I wasn't done.
Wait, she wasn't done.
I'm sorry.
Hold on. Go ahead, Murder.
No,
you
go ahead.
Okay, fine. She was talking over me, but that's fine.
She was making a point before we all interrupted her. Go ahead, Murder.
No, I was just saying that the main thing was the pastor. I wasn't sure whose religion he was going off of, really, because some of that stuff was tainted by what white people taught us. So I felt like when he came back and he had that broken piece of guitar, I was like, was he coming back to something dangerous? Was he coming back to something tainted himself? And that's why he went back out. I was wondering if that's what the case was.
No, I think he just made a conscious decision that he wanted to continue doing what he's doing and fuck what his daddy saying. All right, Tef, what were you saying?
Well, one, he promised his dad that he was going to come to church in the morning. So I think he was trying to keep his promise to his father. But in the end, religion didn't save him because music was not the devil. Music was not the problem. The music was his gift. He chose to walk away from the church and into his actual purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And
that's an interesting. Okay, Tef, can I challenge you just a little bit as a devil's advocate in that? Was it not the music that drew the vampire to him? No,
it was his power. That was what drew it to him, not necessarily the music. And but that does not make the music bad. That does not mean your power.
I didn't say the music was bad. I'm just saying
you're saying it like, oh well, isn't that what drew it to him? Jesus was perfect and the devil was drawn to him, was he not?
Right, because because they were diametrically opposed.
Right,
he was literally active, they were actively battling each other.
Right, but that doesn't mean you should give it up just because the wrong people are attracted to it.
What I'm saying is his father wasn't wrong. He said, if you keep playing blues music, the devil gonna come looking for you. That's all he said.
And he fought the devil and won. I fought the law on the law.
But what did he lose?
Huh?
What did he lose?
What did he
His
gain?
guitar and his family.
What did he gain?
I don't think he lost anything.
He lost Smoke.
What are you talking about? He lost Smoke. He lost Scott.
His cousins, okay.
Yeah.
I think
sometimes
the symbolism.
You have to give things.
Remember, we all can't talk at the same time, y'all.
So you do have to achieve your purpose and to get greatness. You do have to make sacrifices. Sometimes you lose things. I'm not saying that justifies it or that's what happens here.
He lost people.
Right. We listen. Sometimes the lesson is what we learned along the way.
Mm-hmm.
You can't take everybody with you. Just that does not mean that they would have all went with him into the future.
First of all, I think it's very poignant that not only did his father, who represents spirituality, Christian spirituality, tell him to stay away, but the devil in his life, his cousins.
Not to go to Chicago.
Yeah, his cousin told him not to go, and he said he represents, because even Pearline said, "You are the devil." That's why the devil came. That's why they came looking for you, because he's so evil. So good and bad told him to stop.
Well, this is true. I don't think the movie's making a point that he shouldn't have followed his heart, but yeah, there's pros and cons to it, and he went through the cons. He absolutely suffered the cons. He had to weigh the cost either way, and then make it
right.
I'll say this, and if for any that in Addison knows, this point it hits a little close to home because very few people have to make a decision to leave God to go pursue a talent.
Yeah, but if God is everything that we say him is, there is no leaving him behind. He goes with you everywhere. You carry God in your heart and in everything.
Not according to Christianity.
Yeah,
that's what's wrong with it. That's why it's a tool of the oppressor.
Or listen, I'm not going.
The blues.
Feel how you want. Tef's views on Christianity are her own. Everybody is entitled to their own ideology and belief. There and there isn't a religion on this earth that does not say that you have to make certain sacrifices to be in line with godliness or holiness. Just is what it is. What it is that you got to give up may vary from religion to religion, but usually you have to do something in line to be able to match up with what's considered holiness. Sammy made the final decision. He lived a long life, toured the world, saw everything, and then in the final mid-credit scene, as he finishes playing with Kingfish, that's my boy. He's sitting there at the bar, having him a little drinky drink, and then we get the best twist in a movie of 2025. We come to find out that Stack and his girl are not dead. Not only not dead, they're fashionable. That nigga had a Coogler sweater on.
Did you see Haley?
Yo, and I love that. I guess what was that? The 90s,
92.
Yeah, he had the gold, the finger chains, and
he had the high top going.
Yeah, he was looking up, up to date. But that's where Addison talks about the fact that they talk about, that for a couple hours they were free. And he said, it's also the last time I saw my brother, and it's the last time I saw the son.
Yeah, it was wild.
Yo,
that's a great scene.
It was one part of that I really like, that resonated, because when you think about the twin brothers with Sammy, you think about the cartoon where you got the angel and demon on your shoulder. Smoke was the angel. He wore blue. He told him, this is what you get away from. Go back, be in a church, live a normal life. You don't want this. Stack was the devil. He wore red. He said, hey, you want to play music? You want to sing? We're going to make this money. Oh, look at my cousin there. He in there eating some pussy.
Yeah, he also taught him how to eat pussy.
He literally was like he had the angel and demon on both sides. But in the end, he was like the demon won. He was like, hey, man, you ain't got that many years left on you. I could turn you right now. You live forever. Or, I'm just saying.
I'm like, nigga, you should have came 20 years ago.
I promised him I'll leave you alone, but I know you about to die, so I'm gonna come see you one more time. Like that was like so.
And I love that he's still his cousin, because he said, I got all his albums. Go ahead, Murder.
I have a question. Was it just him dying, or was the blues dying with him?
Oh, the blues.
No, I'm just wondering.
It's just that nigga was old.
He was old.
Oh, that's it.
He was
because he was like, I'll let you live forever, but he was gonna forever do.
I like that they got a real blues musician to play the older version of Sammy.
Yeah,
that guy is great.
Yeah, that was nice.
That was
every composer in this thing was like tied to the blues, and I think Delroy Lindo said it best when he saw Sammy. He said, "I got socks older than this boy. What he know about the blues?" And I think that transcended everything in this movie. Because it was like, what them white folks know about the blues? What that young man know about the blues? He had to go through some shit. The best blues singers are the people who live and die for the blues. Delroy Lindo, in my opinion, had one of the best lines. He said, many a night the devil came for me, and old Delta Slim still here. So he got to come through me, but he got to come see his old friend Delta Slim before he gets to y'all. Me and Addison talked about it. There's a song called "The Devil Went Down to Georgia."
I love that shit. That's my shit. That's
all I know about that. It's a story.
It's a parallel there. It's kind of a parallel where, demonic spirits love good music, but it always comes at a cost. And, Sammy wore them scars for the rest of his life, even down to, the final scene. Go ahead, Addison.
I mean, talking about what we were just talking about earlier, like he had to give up a lot to pursue his dream.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, how about that? For all the success, he had a lot of pain. And if you stay for the end credit scene, it's a nice little scene of Miles Canton singing "This Little Light of Mine," and it's a dope. Like me and Addison literally went back to the movies because we were like, I think BK was the one that told us, like, yeah, nigga, there's an end
post credit scene. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
So if you do get to go check out the movie and you did watch our spoiler filled review, all over the place though it may be, there's definitely 2 end credit scenes. Ryan Coogler, you old Marvel head, we see you. There is talk of a possible prequel with how the twins came into the wine and the liquor in their time in Chicago, or a sequel where it follows Stack and
Mary.
Thank you. God damn. I don't know why I can't get that name out, but Stack and Mary and how they transcend through time.
The sequel is Blade.
I hate you. At the end of that movie, Blade comes and kills them both.
I'm waiting for you motherfuckers.
Yeah. Oh, I do want to give a shout out to Pearline, who, even though she was married and that little boy only licked your button once, she was gangster and fought Remick and stabbed that much. She was ready to go to war over Sammy licking that button.
You said that tongue was great,
the moral
man.
of the
That
story
tongue
is,
was great.
if you eat the pussy right, she'll live and die for you. She'll face the
Protect that
devil
tongue at all costs, baby.
Yeah.
You say the same
Mhm.
pressure. Like, you ever had an ice cream cone? You might get the want to be gone too soon.
Let me wipe it off. Let me wipe it off. Nah, I just want to taste. That boy wanted that
Yep,
salt seasoning.
he
He
was
wanted that
spelling his
seasoning
name,
on there.
child.
There were some great lines in this movie. We're getting ready to wrap it up. We're almost at the 2-hour mark, and I can't thank y'all enough for locking in for the HNIC. Yes, we used to do 3-hour long shows, but we have lives. We are trying to condense things so that people can actually go to bed and to work after the fact. If you want a longer review, definitely let us know. Hit us up in the DM, and we can either run it back and we can do some extra content on it. Each one of us has our own viewpoints and perspectives from this movie, but we can all collectively agree that as far as Black cinema goes, it was phenomenal. But as cinema, period, this is single-handedly one of the best movies I have seen as an original movie with no prior IP, originally written. I mean, it's so well done that if you have not seen it yet, tell people to go see it. Go see it multiple times. When we talk about supporting and representation, you want more of this, make it a fucking success. Fuck Variety and then their skepticism of its success. Let's use our own black currency, our own plantation money from them good white jobs that y'all working, and go spend it on Brother Ryan.
That was a message.
I have a black job. I don't know what you're talking about.
That was a message.
We all do, apparently.
That was a message.
I'm just saying. I don't usually say go support other rich people, but this is big. I feel like this movie is bigger than just a Hollywood director that's been on fire. Yes, Ryan has been killing it, but also he's making movies for us, by us.
I feel like it deserves Oscars on certain levels.
Well, we fit to see because these white folks ain't gonna let that rock.
Oh, and shout out to Ruth Carter, Oscar-winning costume designer for Black Panther, who did the costumes for Sinners.
I love it.
He kept his girl. He said, "Come back and do it for me."
He said, "I need you." Yeah.
Also, Addison, I heard a little skepticism. When did Denzel win an Oscar? Not for Malcolm X, but for what?
Oh, for Training Day.
Training Day.
When did Angela Bassett win one?
Oh wow.
She got honorary. She got
an honorary one.
Hold on. Thank you. When did Halle Berry win one? Not for losing Isaiah, but for what?
Yeah,
Monsters Ball.
Okay. All right.
When did Monique win one?
Tell me again. Oh yeah.
For Precious.
Hey, so believe it or not, Will Smith won for playing Venus and Serena's father.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember. That was post slap.
We're trying.
That was the
same. You ruined my point.
Got him.
They're trying. Hey, Michael, this might be Michael's time.
Oh damn! We didn't get to talk about how great Michael did, but Michael B. Jordan killed this film, and I think he hushed a lot of the critics. That in the skepticism. If you could play two roles, two totally different, and if both Oscar worthy,
he played the hell out of them. He played the hell out of both of those roles.
Same movie, fantastic.
Before I get out of here, because now I'm already over the 2-hour mark. I'm gonna try to do my best, but from 1 to 10, Teffy, would you get a movie?
A 9.9 out of 10.
Addison?
Yeah, it's a 10 for me.
Shaq?
10.
BK?
Definitely a 10.
Murder?
10 for me.
Damn. Teffy, you're the toughest critic. No, you're not the only one. I originally would have given it a 9.8. But after talking to I'm not sure who said it, that that really wasn't the end. The end is really with the clan.
Yeah.
So it really gave me my ending that I wanted. It's a 10 for me. God damn.
I will say, no, when I first walked out of the theater, I was like, oh, that's a 10 out of 10. I think because I do plan to see it again. I think maybe after my second viewing, it'll probably go back up to being a 10 out of 10. I will say, I just saw the Thunderbolts, Marvel's Thunderbolts last night. And while it was good, I was like, I would have sat through Sinners again. Like before.
Listen, I can't tell you the last time I saw a movie back to back in the same opening weekend and was excited the second time around. Like I could not. I just wanted to hear the music.
Yeah,
like it was a musical wrapped in horror noir, wrapped in a period piece.
Black noir. That's the new genre.
That wasn't black trauma.
That's the new genre, black noir.
All right, I like them. Whoever that is, I like.
Wait, black noir. That's black twice.
Same thing.
Well, that's what they've been saying.
No, horror noir is black horror, which is kind of
that's what they've been saying.
So BK was lying and tried to make it sound real fancy.
No, that's what I'm wrong. That's what I read.
I mean, yeah, black noir, but it just
don't read
black
that
noir
bullshit.
is dumb. It's like saying when
It's
people
redundant.
like non-bread when non means bread. You're just saying black.
Yeah, because noir is black in Francais.
Like Charlotte, you saying
and you got to believe murder because she went to college. So
yep, sure did.
You gonna as she flips blue hair.
You went to college too, BK.
I know. That's why I was saying they were saying that.
Say, damn nigga, I went to college. God,
y'all went to college? Yeah, I'm the only ignorant motherfucker.
Ain't got no loans.
Unfortunately,
collect, by the way.
I hope y'all up on your student loan payments. Well, y'all gonna be at the juke joint. Y'all gonna be at the juke. You gonna be hustling niggas at the juke.
Another show. That's another show. We not.
Listen. Tevye gonna have some loaded dice. Carolyn gonna sell that catfish, and BK gonna be up there stomping his feet, singing Pale Moon.
By the way,
the
unwashed catfish.
While Shaq in the back, licking. He said, "Put your foot on the door at least." God damn! Yeah. Oh, you nasty hoe! I like
the best. The best thing.
Just put your foot on the door, nigga. Don't let him come in.
Put that leg up.
I gotta get out of here. All right, y'all. Look, Headers in Charge. Full on 2 hours worth of dope black movie. Go check out Sinners in theaters now. Is rated. Oh, and it's rated R. It's killing it as a rated R movie.
Yep.
So
Sex,
good.
blood, and gore and cursing.
Follow all these niggas. Y'all know where they at.
9, 8.